Today, I'm taking you on a journey from the backstreets of Harlem to the world stage. A journey that tells the story of not just a singer, but a warrior, a pioneer of change. So if you're ready, put on your headphones, because you're about to witness how a legend quietly led a revolution. The legend who shouted, "Day-O." You might recognize his voice. When he cried out, "Day-O," the world stopped and listened. But Harry Belafonte wasn't just that guy with that song. When he stepped on stage, he brought not just his art, but his conscience. He had this presence, a charisma that made you move to his rhythm and reflect on his words. He was the man who fused rhythm with resistance, melody with message, beyond $30 million. At the time of his passing, Harry Belafonte's net worth was estimated to be around $30 million. But believe me, his greatest investments weren't in banks, but in hearts. He earned serious income from music, film, and television projects. In 2009, he sold his 21-room luxury apartment in Manhattan for $10.75 million. He also owned property in St. Martin in the Caribbean. But flaunting wealth? That was never his style. He was a man who measured his value by what he gave to the world. From Harlem to the world stage, Harry Belafonte was born on March 1, 1927, in Harlem, New York. He had a tough childhood. His family was of Jamaican descent, and he was sent to live in Jamaica at a young age. There, he connected deeply with reggae, calypso, and folk music. These sounds shaped his soul. When he returned to the U.S., he joined the New York Dramatic Workshop, where he trained alongside legends like Marlon Brando and Tony Curtis. But his heart always beat to the rhythm of music. In 1956, his Calypso album became the first LP in America to sell 1 million copies. That success didn't just make him a star, it made him a movement. He starred in bold films like Carmen Jones and Island in the Sun, and in 1959, he won an Emmy Award for his TV show Tonight with Belafonte. Back then, for a black artist to achieve that, it was revolutionary. More than a home, a headquarters for change. His 21-room apartment in Manhattan wasn't just a living space, it was the heart of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. held meetings there. John F. Kennedy took inspiration from the conversations they had. The walls were adorned with works by artists like Marc Chagall and Diego Rivera. It wasn't just a home, it was a living, breathing history book. Car collection, quiet power. Harry Belafonte didn't have a flashy luxury car collection. Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, that wasn't him. He valued purpose over appearance. Maybe he drove a classic Chevy, maybe an old-school Ford, but he was always moving forward. Because his real horsepower, it was in his words, a legacy of love. He married 3 times. His first wife, Marguerite Bird, gave birth to 2 daughters, Adrienne and Sherry. With his second wife, Julie Robinson, he had 2 more children, Gina and David. He was with his third wife, Pamela Frank, from 2008 until his passing. In total, he had 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. His legacy doesn't just live on in music or activism, it lives on through his family, a voice that never went silent. In 1987, Belafonte became a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. But it wasn't just a title, he took it as a mission. He fought hunger in Africa, racism in America, injustice around the world. In 1985, he helped organize We Are the World, one of the largest musical charity projects in history. That moment, he wasn't shining under the spotlight. He was lighting a path for humanity. What will you change? Harry Belafonte taught us something powerful. Real wealth isn't stored in banks. It lives in hearts brave enough to change the world. And he was brave. The question is, are we? Maybe we can't all be singers, but we can raise our voices for justice, equality, and love. Maybe, just maybe, we all have a day-o of our own waiting to be sung. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. See you in the next legend.